Procrastination has nothing to do with perfectionism. If you've guys been procrastinating on something in your life and you've been trying to resolve that issue, you probably run into some advice on the web saying that procrastination, that perfectionism is one of the root causes of procrastination. But I'm gonna make the case that it's not true, that perfectionists do not procrastinate. Before I go there, just want to letting you know that there will be a link in the comment section pinned. It's the link to my Facebook group called Time Mastery, where you can join in and work on your time mastery and procrastination and working on improving your time management skills. So back to this issue, perfectionism and procrastination. I've been a perfectionist all my life. It has its pros and cons, but I know what it's like to be a perfectionist. And as a perfectionist, I go through life collecting medals, collecting taps on the shoulder for having little achievements in my life, for getting them done right. The very first achievement, the very first thrill of being a perfectionist, I experienced that in the 8th grade. In the 8th grade, I discovered how I can be a straight A student. Back at the time, it was important for me that my parents like me and appreciate me and tap me on the shoulder, and my parents wanted me to study, and bringing home good grades meant the whole world for me. So in the 8th grade, I still remember the week when I realized something. I realized that in order to get good grades, I had to study. And not study the night before exam, not study an hour before exam, not do my assignments a day before exam, but I had to study the moment I'd heard about assignment. So if assignment is handed out on Monday and it's due on Friday, I'll come home on Monday straight when it's handed out and I'll start studying. When there was a poem to learn, I would start learning that poem straight away. When there is a class and I come home from class, I review the notes and read the book straight away. Because for me, it was crucial. My drive was to get a perfect grade. I could not afford getting less than a perfect grade. I was a perfectionist. I have been a perfectionist. So there was no such a thing as waiting until the last minute, because that means getting less than a perfect grade. No procrastination. There is no chance for procrastination for a perfectionist. Fast forward a few years, I realized that I wanted to study abroad in the US or Europe, and I realized that I had to learn English. I had to know English. There was no opportunity at the time. I had no clue how I would move to US or Europe, how I would get scholarship. But I realized I needed to learn English. So did I wait until the last night, the last month, the last year to start learning English? No, the moment I realized that my goal was to study in the US or Europe, I started studying English. I enrolled in all sorts of classes. I started working with a private instructor, and I started learning English from day one. I've been a perfectionist. There was no choice for having this task less than perfect. That means not procrastinating until the very last minute. That means starting to work on the subject straight away. Fast forward a few more years, another case of perfectionism, like another badge, another medal that I collected. I wanted to get a residency in Australia, and so I was applying for jobs in Australia. Finally, I got a job. I got on a plane. I landed in Australia, started working. But guess what? I learned all Australian immigration laws even before I got the job. I did not procrastinate until the very last minute to learn about Australian immigration laws. I learned Australian immigration laws even before I got the job. The moment I realized I wanted to go to Australia, I learned all immigration regulations, and the moment I was eligible to apply for residency, I applied for it. There was no procrastination because I'm a perfectionist. Now, being a perfectionist has its own drawbacks. As you can imagine, it actually sucks a lot, because when someone doesn't tap you on the shoulder, there is no badge to win, there is no medal, and that's the area in my life where I'll be procrastinating on. So when I was in school, my parents didn't really reward, they didn't care whether I socialized or not. And that means I never hang out with my friends. I never had friends. I was only studying because I was collecting rewards for being a good student, but there was no reward for socializing. So all my life I've been procrastinating on getting some sort of a social life, on getting dates. I haven't been dating for until I became much older. And those areas in my life I've been procrastinating, but not because I was a perfectionist, but because I didn't see a clear win, I didn't see immediate win, a medal that I could collect straight away for working on that area of my life. So that's why I was procrastinating. So once again, guys, if you have a case in your life or at your work where you are procrastinating, look in your perfectionism, but realize that most likely your perfectionism is not an issue there. There are some other issues. And once you know that perfectionism is not an issue, you can start looking for something else that is more likely to be an issue. And if you want to dive deeper and explore your procrastination and learn good time management skills, make sure you check out my Facebook group. It's called Time Mastery, and there will be a link pinned to the comment section of this video. I'll see you on the inside of the group.